Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'd like to talk about the legendary George F. Jowett. George F. Jowett, for those of you who don't know, was I guess from the Bronze Era. He was a very famous English strongman, extremely powerful, and as you can see from this photo, extremely well developed for someone from the Bronze Era. Let's learn more about this particular person who I think should really be, I guess, remembered for his efforts in bodybuilding. Now, he was a very famous editor for several magazines, as you can see. Your Physique, as I am currently reviewing. Strength, which was one of the first publications ever written, I think, in America, in the US. That was from Alan Calvert, who actually created the Milo Barbell Company, as you can see in that in the bottom corner of the Strength magazine featured here. He was also editor for Strength and Health with Bob Hoffman, and the Bodybuilder magazine as well, with George Eiferman there on the cover. Now, George F. Jowett not only was an editor of several mags, but he actually came out with at least 30 different publications, as shown here. For example, molding a mighty series of arm, legs, etc. He came up with the Jowett Institute courses and very famous books such as The Key to Might and Muscle. He came up with so many publications. I'm currently reading many of these really old school techniques of getting strong, and they are phenomenal. I love this stuff. Now, his early life, let's get to his early life. He was a sickly child, and after regaining his health, he won the World Junior Gymnastic Championship at 15 years of age. He followed this with, at 16 years of age, winning the World Junior Lightweight Wrestling title, and then backed this up with a senior title. He was actually a multiple world weightlifting record breaker, and you can see all the titles and badges that he's got attached on his, I guess, on his wrestling posing trunks, whatever they are. This image, of course, from superstrengthtraining.com. Thank you to Bill Hinburn for his wonderful work on that website. So yeah, he was a very well accomplished athlete. He was named the world's most perfectly developed man back in, when was it? It was in Chicago a long time ago. And let's look at his measurements. Although he was only 5'6", he was 200 pounds at that height. That's pretty impressive. As you can see, very bulky but strong physique. 19-inch neck, massive. 18-inch calves, and almost 19-inch arms. For a person in the early 1900s, that is absolutely phenomenal, especially with 5'6", with 18.5-inch arms. That's incredible. 27-inch thighs, chest. Well, it doesn't actually list it in the several articles that I've read. I probably would have to read even more about it, but I would guess that he was close to the 48 to 50-inch mark with the chest expanded. This guy was strong. He was huge. Alan Calvert from the Milo Barbell Company named him as the most scientific strength athlete in the whole world. Now, he actually did much in weightlifting history, and let's go through that right now. He actually founded the very first weightlifting organization called the American Continental Weightlifting Association in Inkerman, Ontario, where he first set down the rules for the 3 Olympic lifts. These were the snatch, clean and jerk, and press. And in doing this, he standardized weightlifting competition, because it used to actually involve odd lifts like the back lift, the one-arm bent press, etc., which famous strongmen like Saxon, etc., used to excel in. But when he actually set these rules and made the 3 Olympic weightlifting meets, the lifts to actually compete with, this standardized weightlifting competition. He actually conducted the first American Amateur Union weightlifting meet in Philadelphia, and devised and helped to improve barbells and dumbbells. I mean, we use them every day in the gym, but we are actually not aware that George F. Jowett actually helped to standardize the barbell and the dumbbell. And in doing so, he actually had 60 patents, I believe, from all this work. It's incredible. this man is really important in bodybuilding history, and this is exactly why I'm focusing on this particular character and legend of the I guess Bronze era. He also in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, developed the Apollo system of training and helped Alan Calvert to I guess to improve and expand the barbell company. He was also very famous for his strongman acts. For example, he liked really lifting odd objects, as shown here, an anvil with one arm. Unbelievable. He had incredible grip strength. Look at the size of his forearms. You can actually see. He actually liked bending horseshoes and iron bars. Again, his grip was incredible. His strength was incredible. He also liked, I guess, competing with the world's top wrestlers and always beating them. He would also break chains on his chest and on his flexed arms just to show his incredible strength. He was quite a character. As mentioned, this particular character, George F. Jowett, was very important in bodybuilding. He actually came up with a progressive barbell system, and I guess in doing so, I mentioned earlier, in helping also develop the barbell and the dumbbell, which we take for granted these days, he developed 60 patents in total on this on different kinds of resistance training equipment. Here is one of his famous ones, actually, the fulcrum, this fulcrum apparatus, which I've seen online recently, and I wish to purchase as a piece of history. And I guess having all this information and all this knowledge, he then eventually created the Jowett Institute. And from here, he had a legion of legendary students. One, of course, a very famous one, Bob Hoffman, who then went on to actually start his own magazine and help the US in Olympic weightlifting competition. As a couple of final achievements of this very famous and probably forgotten legendary man figure of bodybuilding, he actually, during the World War II, he actually created the US National Fitness Plan, and I've actually got a course on that I may feature in a future video. He was also the first IFBB president, as shown in the next photo. Shown here is George F. Jowett standing with the Wader brothers, Ben and Joe Wader. He's a much more aged, I guess, person there, and he was the first IFBB president. This concludes this particular look at George F. Jowett, the legendary figure from the Bronze era. Very important because he helped shape bodybuilding in the future. He created the progressive barbell system, helped devise the tools that we use nowadays for bodybuilding and we take for granted. So I hope this dedication to George F. Jowett has pleased you. I've been meaning to do it for a very long time, and I will actually follow this up by reviewing many of his courses, which I have, and I believe this legendary figure should be definitely remembered. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't for more information and more videos like this on the bronze, silver and golden era of bodybuilding. Leave me a comment and thank you for watching. This is the Golden Era Bookworm. Bye for now.